5Ks into a ride that I have not done in about 3.5 years. We're riding rim brakes and mechanical shifting for the first time in a long time. In this video, I want to give you some first impressions of what it's like riding this equipment after so long. So what's the best way to test a bike? Is do the ride you do all the time. For me is obviously my commute. Commutes are funny old things. Kudos to anyone who commutes a lot. You can get all sorts of stuff on your commute. Trucks, cars, everything. All the commutes. Beautiful morning though. Check this. Alright, so 37 Ks, what's my first impressions? Being back on rim brakes, started out feeling pretty darn weird. Key one is just looking at them and looking at your skinny tyres. It's super odd after 3.5 years of running 28Cs on nice wide internal rims and looking at kind of 31mm wide tyres. Now back to narrow rims and 25C tyres. Just visually really odd. And on top of that, as you can imagine, nothing mind-blowing here, but comfort-wise, yeah, my disc brake bike is definitely more comfortable. The compliance factor, and obviously the big one is tyres on that. That's pretty well documented now. But in shock horror, I can still stop. And I think the biggest takeaway from my first ride is I can ride this bike. This bike is a 10th money-wise to my disc brake SL7. But I'm riding it. I'm riding to work, I'm out in the sunshine, it's a beautiful day. You can ride this bike. And I'm really stoked. It's obviously bringing back all my memories and feelings from my first gen Venge that I had. And I'm really enjoying it. So, yeah. First ride, really stoked. Let's carry on. It's a little bit more riding and a few more thoughts in a moment. Enough of a work day. Weather's changed. Grey skies. Dirty roads. Oh no, poor white shoes. Alright guys, so first impressions, rim brake bike. As I said, first time in 3.5 years that I have ridden a bike like this, and look, overall feelings have got to be good. Like, it's bike riding, we're out there, we're doing it, and that is really what bikes are all about. Totally some differences over my disc brake bike, and it definitely took me a good hour or so of riding to start to really get my head around those things, like not being able to really brake with the one finger, having to use more of the hand for things like shifting and stuff. That's obviously a mechanical versus Di2 thing, but overall I rode a bike, and that's fantastic. To reiterate, this bike is 1/10 the cost of my normal road bike, and that is significant. And I know lots of conversations, rim versus disc, and there's so much to talk about in that space, of course, but really, wow, if you're riding a bike, then you are winning. So I'm really stoked. I'm really excited to do more riding on this bike. There's definitely some things to change. We'll talk about that really soon once some parts come and some little detail things, changing some cables, all that normal stuff. But so good, can't believe it. All right, I better get home before it rains again. Thanks for coming along on my first rim brake ride in 3.5 years. I hope you guys are excited to see more riding on this bike. I have so much more to talk about, and keep it simple, guys. We'll see you all very soon for another Project Starter video. Cheers.